For those of you who may have thought this is going to be maybe a few different things to the way I proceed, or the way I tell this, maybe something different before. But this particular one is the second one of going down memory lane. That was the site got seized over there at Bolt, and it got taken off and all that other good stuff anyway. But let me go ahead and retell the story. Thank you so much for going down memory lane with me. Let me take you back to the 1989 to 1991, late 91. So about a 3-year span there. My cousin John worked at a place called Speedy Foods. And Speedy Foods basically was just, like your normal BP stations or your Shell gas stations today, where you had your little you had the gas pumps and whatnot. You went in there and you had your little foods and things, if you will. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. But John worked there, and courtesy of Bob came into play during these nights at Speedy Foods. But let me back up just a few minutes, or just a few seconds here, and explain to you. Courtesy of Bob started in that 89 to 91 year span, and it basically came off of a movie by Jim Varney, Ernest P. Worrell, the character he played, Ernest P. Worrell. There was a particular two brothers. Their name was the one guy's name I'm not sure, but the other guy's name was Bobby. And the one guy would say something and do something, be like, "Bobby, if you please." Well, Sean and I had picked up on that, and we called each other Bob or Bobby. And to this day, we still do that. And this being a little over close to 15 years later, or somewhere, however that, and then we still call each other Bob and Bobby. But Sean, one time, we went to Canton Center Mall in Canton. I'm not sure if it's still standing there now. I think it's a Woolworths or Walmart or something. It's not there no more. But anyway, at the time it was Canton Center Mall. And we went into the Canton Center Mall, and Sean went up to J.C. Penney's. He had a pair of old shoes on. He come down with a pair of brand new shoes. And he says, "Hey, Bobby, go ahead and look down at my feet." I'm like, "What?" "Just look at my feet." Courtesy of Bob. So what'd you do? Well, Sean went in and J.C. Penney's with his old pair of shoes, put them into the box that the new pair of shoes were in, put the new pair of shoes on, and walked out the store. Courtesy of Bob was born, folks, during that particular time. Then we go to Speedy Foods. Now we're going to Speedy Foods here, and John, like I said, worked there 89 and 91, and John went ahead and we would come over, Sean and I would, and we helped John stock the coolers, if you will, with the pop or whatever it be, that needed the juice or milk or what have you. And we went ahead and we helped John stock the coolers. Well, we go back there, and there's this little hole about yay big enough to fit a lot of stuff in, and we fit, one time we fit about 2 or 3 12-packs of pop. We went ahead and fixed or put out a log of Skull Long Cut Straight, a few mags, if you will, Triple X magazines. Anyway, we went and fitted those things in there, and there was just like a few odds and ends, if you will, and we'd snack on Snickers ice cream bars and whatnot. And back in the day, we calculated that all up. Courtesy of Bob came into play, people, as we walked out of there with close to $250 to $200 or $300 worth of stuff that we walked out of there with, putting into that back hole. Not many know that, but with it being as long as it is, it's able to comfortable be talking about that now, and that was part of our lives that we can go back to and just look and just kind of laugh about it, because I know it's wrong, but we can just laugh about it because it's just something that courtesy of Bob. We'd also sit there and make ourselves a bunch of burritos and snack on some chips and everything, and not really actually do anything and actually pay for it or whatever. And John, he really didn't care. John was the type of person, John is very feminine, so to speak, in more ways than one, and we won't go into that details there. But John, he really didn't care. He'd sit there and he'd read Cosmo magazines or People or National Enquirers or whatever, and he really wouldn't care. Lastly, one thing that the Knights of Speedy Foods really stands out is there was a particular situation with this Chinese guy who owned a Chinese restaurant down all over the bridge there, the viaduct over there, and he'd come up and want to play Cash Explosion, which is the Hoosier Lotteries, or the Hoosier Lottery. I'm in Indiana, yeah, the Ohio Lotteries, if you will. Their particular game, and he scratched it off and wanted to know if he won. He came up to Sean, did I win? Did I win? Sean looked at him, no man, you didn't win. He'd throw it in the trash. Sean go into the trash and get it back out. So what are you doing, man? He goes, Bobby. He said, come on, man. He goes, I just fucking courtesy bobbed this guy. He said he won $50. Sean and I split that $50, 25 apiece. To tell you the truth, folks, the Knights of Speedy Foods, there's so much to cover, but that's a little bit of the whatnot and the gist of the Knights of Speedy Foods and how courtesy of Bob was born. And to this day, Sean and I, like I said, still call each other Bob and Bobby, and we will never forget the Knights at Speedy Foods and how courtesy of Bob was born. Thank you so much for going down memory lane with me. I'll see you next time.